I would like to make a new video about flying domestically internationally. This means I will talk about flying domestically overseas in different countries. Many people on various YouTube sites, when they talk about flying domestically, they only refer to flying within the United States, such as California to New York to Florida, or maybe even from California to Alaska or Hawaii. Those are all domestic flights. However, I would like to talk about flying domestically outside of the US. I will talk about flying domestically in China, Japan, and Vietnam, for example, all of which I have experience in. The reason for that is that China here is a very big country here. So I've flown internationally from, say, Shenzhen to Beijing, Beijing to Shanghai, Shanghai to Wuhan, and to Kunming, and stuff like that. So this is all China here. In Japan, forgive what I just said, but I do not have any experience flying domestically in Japan. But I would like to talk about flying domestically in Japan. In Vietnam here, I have a couple experiences flying domestically in Vietnam. I have flown from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh, and Ho Chi Minh back to Hanoi. This video is made in response to my last video, which is things that befuddle me as an international traveler when traveling domestically. Because I normally travel internationally. However, when I do travel domestically, it's very different from internationally. So I'd like to talk about traveling domestically internationally. Vietnam first. Vietnam is one of my favorite countries ever to travel, and I travel to Vietnam quite often. I absolutely love traveling to Vietnam. I have traveled to North Vietnam, Southern Vietnam, and Central Vietnam. And of course, I do travel domestically within Vietnam. So what do you think about Vietnam? When you think about Vietnam, you think about Vietnam Airlines, right? Let's book a domestic flight and see the comparison. So for example, I will go from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City and book it from 15th to 18th, just an example, some random dates. One passenger, no promotion code. Here it goes. Find flight. It's loading. Okay, here we go. Let's just fly economy. There are various flights here. Fly economy for $78, which is pretty decent, I would say. Okay, $78 economy light. Let's click on that one here. What you get? You get one check bag. One check bag is very good because in most domestic flights within the US, you get charged per bag. So you get one bag totally for free flying domestically in Vietnam using Vietnam Airlines. Of course, Vietnam Airlines is the most famous airline in Vietnam. It's not exactly the cheapest airline in Vietnam, but it is a standard airline, kind of equivalent to like United or a Delta flight within the US. So one check bag totally for free for all domestic travel, all domestic flights, for all passengers, including flying economy light, which is the very basic and very cheapest flight that you can fly in Vietnam Airlines, which is very good. Compare that to United or Delta, where you have to pay for a check-in bag. Every single bag you have to pay. Of course, you have a special credit card and so on, then you get maybe one free check bag for free. But here, it is totally for free. That's the benefit of flying domestically outside of the US. You would not get nickeled and dimed. Okay, so what you get? More details, carry-on baggage, one carry-on baggage, and one check-in baggage, all for free for the cheapest flight, Economy Flex. Oh, so this is the cheapest one, Economy Light, one carry-on baggage and one check-in baggage, still for all cheapest economy flights. Oh, here's a super cheap one, Economy Super Light. You still get one carry-on baggage and one accessory, which is very good. Okay, let's talk about flying domestically in Japan. Okay, so when you think about flying in Japan domestically, what do you think? You think of Japan Airlines or ANA Airlines. Here's what I have found via Japan Airlines website. I tried to book using a search. However, I was unable to find the information, so I just did a Google search for baggage. Find out rules and important notices about carrying baggage on JAL domestic flights. carry-on baggage and check-in baggage. Let's open each link in a separate tab and load it on for carry-on baggage first. Okay, carry-on baggage for domestic flights. Up to 1 carry-on baggage and 1 personal belonging. Again, this is totally for free on Japan Airlines. 10 kilograms or less for carry-on baggage on a domestic flight. Check baggage, again, it is totally for free, up to 20 kilograms free of charge for all domestic flights here. Again, this differs greatly from United, Delta, or American Airlines in the United States, where you get charged basically for every single thing, check-in or carry-on baggage, which is kind of ridiculous. Okay, let's fly to China now. So China Southern Airlines is one of China's main airlines that flies domestically, also flies internationally. Let's book an example flight, such as from Beijing to Shenzhen. Beijing is in North China, Shenzhen is in South China. Let's just do a one-way on October 14th, some random date. Click on search and see what you get. Okay, from Beijing to Shenzhen, let's just click on economy, the cheapest flight possible. So it is one stop here, non-stop, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Let's click on a non-stop, 3.5 hours. Okay, what do you get? You get 1 check-in bag for free and 1 carry-on bag for free. Carry-on bag has to be less than 8 kilograms, and the size for check-in bag has to be less than 20 kilograms, not exceeding a particular volume. This is all for free for a super cheap price. And what do you see here? You see a spoon and fork, which means free food. I'm not too sure about Japan Airlines, but at least on domestically within China, which I've flown several times before, you are provided a free food. It's not anything spectacular, but basically it's a hot sandwich with bread, cheese, and ham inside, and in a small bag with a small banana or small apple with a small bottle of water. And sure, it's not substantial, but it is enough to sustain you for a 3.5 hour flight. Again, it's totally for free, included within the price. This price here is approximately 120 US dollars. And you get free baggage, free check-in bags, free carry-on bags, and free food, all for a domestic flight within China. Thank you. Bye.